Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're discussing a topic that could genuinely save a life. Yours or someone you love. What should you do if you think you're having a heart attack and you're completely alone, especially if you're over 60? It's a scary thought, but being prepared can make all the difference. Let's get right into the 7 crucial steps you need to take. First and most importantly, recognize the symptoms. We often think of a heart attack as that dramatic, chest-clutching scene from the movies, but the signs can be much more subtle. Yes, you might feel a crushing pressure or pain in the center of your chest that can last for more than a few minutes, or it might go away and come back. But that's not all. This pain can radiate to your shoulders, neck, arms, or even your jaw. You might also experience shortness of breath, break out in a cold sweat, or feel unusually lightheaded or nauseous. For women, the symptoms can be even less typical, often described as severe fatigue, indigestion, or upper back pain. Don't dismiss these signs. Your body is sending you a critical warning. If something feels terribly wrong, trust your gut. It's always better to be safe than sorry. The second crucial thing to do is to call for emergency help immediately. As soon as you suspect a heart attack, don't hesitate. Don't try to wait it out or convince yourself it's just indigestion. Every single second counts. Pick up your phone and dial your local emergency number. That's 911 in the United States, 999 in the UK, or 000 in Australia. Be clear and calm. Say, "I think I'm having a heart attack." Give them your exact address, including any apartment numbers or specific directions that could help them find you faster. If you have a medical alert system, press that button. The operator is trained to guide you and will dispatch help right away. Don't call a friend or family member first. Call the professionals who can get to you with life-saving equipment. Once you've called for help, our third step is to unlock your front door. This might seem like a small detail, but it's incredibly important. First responders need to get to you as quickly as possible, and a locked door is a major obstacle. After you've made the emergency call, make your way to the door and unlock it. Then, lie down near the door if you can, preferably on your back with your head and shoulders slightly elevated by a pillow. This makes it easier for the paramedics to find you as soon as they enter and start treatment without delay. It also prevents them from having to break down your door, which saves precious time. Lying down also reduces the strain on your heart. Our fourth step involves aspirin, but only if you're not allergic and don't have a bleeding condition. If you have 325 milligrams of non-coated aspirin on hand, chew it slowly. Chewing it rather than swallowing it whole helps it get into your system faster. Why aspirin? Aspirin is a blood thinner, and during a heart attack, a blood clot is often blocking blood flow to your heart muscle. The aspirin can help break up that clot or prevent it from getting bigger, which can limit the damage to your heart while you wait for the ambulance. However, and this is very important, do not take aspirin if your doctor has specifically told you not to, or if you are allergic to it. And don't waste time searching for aspirin if it's not readily available. Your priority is calling for help and unlocking the door. Step number 5 is to try and remain as calm as possible. I know, this is incredibly difficult when you're facing such a terrifying situation, but panic and anxiety increase your heart rate and blood pressure, which puts even more strain on your already struggling heart. After you've called for help and are lying down, focus on your breathing. Take slow, deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. This can help lower your heart rate and keep you centered. You've already taken the most important steps. You've recognized the symptoms and called for professional help. Help is on the way. Your job now is to conserve your energy and reduce the workload on your heart. Number 6 is a very important don't. Do not try to drive yourself to the hospital. This is a common and dangerous mistake. Your condition could worsen suddenly, causing you to lose consciousness and leading to a serious accident that could harm yourself and others. Your symptoms, like dizziness or chest pain, can make it impossible to drive safely. Paramedics can begin treatment the moment they reach you, something you can't do in your car. They have oxygen, medication, and a defibrillator. The ambulance is a mobile emergency room. Please wait for them to come to you. It is the safest and fastest way to get the advanced care you need. All right, you've recognized the symptoms and your mind is racing. What's next? This brings us to step number 2, and it's non-negotiable. Call emergency services right away. I cannot stress this enough. Even if you think it's just indigestion or that you can tough it out, do not wait. In a heart attack situation, time is muscle. Every minute that passes, more heart muscle can be damaged, and the first few minutes are absolutely vital for survival and recovery. Grab your phone, or if you have a smart speaker, use it, and dial your local emergency number. In the United States and Canada, that's 911. In the UK, it's 9999. Know your local number. When the dispatcher answers, state clearly and calmly, "I think I am having a heart attack." Give them your exact location, including your apartment number or any specific details that will help them find you quickly. If you can, unlock your front door while you're on the phone so that the paramedics can get in without delay. Stay on the line with the dispatcher. They are trained professionals who can provide life-saving instructions and keep you calm while help is racing to your side. They might ask you questions about your symptoms or tell you what to do next. Following their guidance can make a world of difference. Remember, making that call is the single most important action you can take to save your own life. Don't hesitate for a second. So, what are these signs? The classic one is a feeling of pressure, tightness, squeezing, or an ache in the center of your chest. It might last for more than a few minutes, or it might go away and come back. But it's not always that classic Hollywood chest-clutching scene. The pain can spread. You might feel it in one or both of your arms, your back, your neck, your jaw, or even your stomach. Along with this discomfort, you might experience shortness of breath. You could feel like you've just run a marathon, even if you've just been sitting on the couch. You might also feel nauseous, lightheaded, or suddenly dizzy. Breaking out in a cold sweat for no apparent reason is another major red flag. It's important to know that women in particular can experience a heart attack differently. They might have less obvious chest pain and are more likely to experience shortness of breath, nausea, and back or jaw pain. So whether you're a man or a woman, if you suddenly feel a combination of these symptoms, please do not ignore it. I want to repeat this because it's the most important takeaway from this first point. Time is everything. In a heart attack, a part of your heart muscle isn't getting enough blood, and the longer that goes on, the more damage is done. The faster you act, the greater your chances of not just survival, but also of a full and healthy recovery. Don't waste precious minutes trying to wait it out or convincing yourself it's nothing. Your life is too important. Now, let's move on to the second crucial step. Once you suspect you're having a heart attack, the immediate next action is to call for emergency help. Do not hesitate. Do not think you're overreacting or being a bother. Your priority is to get medical professionals on their way to you as fast as humanly possible. In most countries, you know the number: 911 in the US and Canada, 999 in the UK, 000 in Australia. Know your local emergency number and have it programmed into your phone. When you make that call, be clear and calm. Tell the operator, "I think I am having a heart attack." Give them your exact location. If you live in an apartment building, provide your apartment number and any entry codes if you can. The more precise you are, the faster they can find you. Stay on the line with the operator. They are trained to guide you and can provide instructions on what to do while you wait for the ambulance to arrive. They can help keep you calm and might even be able to talk you through some initial steps. Now, you might be tempted to call a friend or a family member first. Please don't do this. While it's natural to want to reach out to a loved one, they can't provide the immediate medical care you need. Call emergency services first. Then, if you have time and feel up to it while waiting, you can call a family member to let them know what's happening and where you're being taken. And a very important point, do not, under any circumstances, attempt to drive yourself to the hospital. Your symptoms like dizziness or chest pain could worsen suddenly, causing you to lose control of the car. This would not only endanger yourself but everyone else on the road. The paramedics in an ambulance can begin life-saving treatment the moment they reach you. They have oxygen, medication, and defibrillators, things you won't have in your car. So please, let them come to you. The third thing you need to do while waiting for help is to position yourself for safety and comfort. Don't pace around anxiously, as this puts more strain on your heart. Find a safe spot and stop moving. The best position is usually to sit down on the floor. Lean your back against a wall or a sturdy piece of furniture. By sitting on the floor, you minimize the risk of injury if you were to become dizzy and faint. Falling from a standing height or even from a chair could cause serious head injuries or broken bones, complicating your situation. Once you're seated, bend your knees and try to remain as calm as possible. This position helps reduce the strain on your heart. Panicking will only increase your heart rate and blood pressure, which is the last thing you need right now. I know it's easier said than done, but try to take slow, deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Focusing on your breathing can be a powerful way to manage rising panic and anxiety. While you're seated, you should also take a moment to unlock your front door. If you have the strength, get to your front door and unlock it. Then return to your seated position near the door if possible. This simple act is incredibly important. It allows the paramedics to enter your home without having to break down the door, which saves precious time. Every second counts. If you can't get to the door, don't worry. Emergency services have ways to get in, but unlocking it if you can is a huge help. The fourth step is something you can do only if you have it on hand and are not allergic. Chew an aspirin. Specifically, a standard 325 milligram non-coated aspirin. If you have been told by your doctor not to take aspirin, then please disregard this. But for most people, this can be a life-saving measure. Why aspirin? Aspirin helps to thin the blood and can help break up the blood clot that is causing the heart attack. When you have a heart attack, it's usually because a clot has blocked an artery supplying blood to your heart muscle. Aspirin interferes with the blood's clotting action. It's crucial that you chew it, not just swallow it with water. Chewing the aspirin allows it to be absorbed into your bloodstream much faster through the lining of your mouth. When you just swallow it, it has to go through your digestive system, which takes longer. We're trying to save time, remember? So chew one full-strength aspirin. If you only have baby aspirin, which is usually 81 milligrams, chew 4 of them. Again, this is only for people who are not allergic to aspirin and have not been specifically advised against it by their doctor. If you're unsure, it's best to wait for the paramedics and ask them. But if you know you're okay with aspirin, it's a good idea to keep a bottle of non-coated aspirin in your medicine cabinet and even your purse or car just in case. It's a simple precaution that could make a huge difference. Fifth on our list is to have your vital information ready. Paramedics and emergency room doctors need to know your medical history to treat you effectively. While you're waiting, if you feel able, try to gather your essential information. This includes a list of any medications you are currently taking, including the dosages. Don't forget over-the-counter drugs, vitamins, or supplements. It's also extremely helpful to have a list of any allergies you have, especially to medications. Also, note down any pre-existing medical conditions you have, like diabetes, high blood pressure, or a previous heart condition. Finally, have the contact information for your primary doctor and a close family member or emergency contact. Now, you're probably not going to be writing this all down during an emergency. The smart thing to do is to prepare this in advance. Type it up or write it out clearly on a piece of paper or an index card. Keep one copy in your wallet or purse and another copy in a visible, easily accessible place in your home, like on the refrigerator door. There are also medical alert bracelets or necklaces that can store this information. Having this, in case of emergency, packet ready to go can save the medical team a lot of guesswork and allow them to provide you with the best and safest care possible right from the start. The sixth point is about what not to do, which is just as important. We've already covered not driving yourself to the hospital, but there are a few other common mistakes to avoid. First, do not eat or drink anything. You might feel nauseous and want a sip of water, but it's best to avoid it. If you need surgery, having food or liquid in your stomach can cause complications with anesthesia. The only exception is the small amount of water you might use to help swallow an aspirin if you cannot chew it, but chewing is preferred. Also, do not take any of your regular medications unless you have been explicitly told to do so by the emergency operator or your doctor. For example, some people with known heart conditions have a prescription for nitroglycerin. If your doctor has instructed you to take it during an episode of chest pain, then you should follow their directions. But do not self-medicate with anything else. Let the paramedics assess your situation and administer the appropriate drugs. And as we touched on before, try to avoid panic. Freaking out increases the strain on your heart. Focus on your slow, deep breaths. Try to think about something calming. I know this sounds impossible, but every bit of calmness you can muster helps your body manage the crisis. Remember, you have already done the most important things. You've recognized the signs and called for help. Professionals are on their way. So, you've recognized the symptoms and you've called for emergency help. Now what? Your immediate instinct might be to panic. Your heart is racing, you feel a wave of fear, and your mind is flooded with what-ifs. This is a completely natural reaction, but it's the one thing you must fight against with all your might. This brings us to our third crucial point. You must stay as calm and still as possible. Why is this so important? Think of your heart as an engine that's already under immense stress. When you panic, your body releases adrenaline. This causes your heart to beat even faster and harder, demanding more oxygen that it's already struggling to get. It's like flooring the accelerator in a car that's overheating. Every unnecessary movement, whether it's pacing around the room or frantically looking for something, also increases your heart's workload. You are literally adding more strain to an already strained muscle. So, the absolute best thing you can do for your heart at this moment is to reduce its workload as much as you can. So, how do you do that in such a high-stakes situation? First, stop moving. Immediately sit down. The best place is on the floor, with your back against a wall or a sturdy piece of furniture. Why the floor? Because if you were to lose consciousness or feel faint, sitting on the floor minimizes the risk of a serious injury from a fall. If you're on a chair or a sofa, you could still topple over. Being on the ground is the safest position you can be in while you wait for help. Once you are seated and stable, focus on your breathing. Panic often leads to short, shallow breaths, which doesn't help with oxygen levels. You need to consciously take control. Try to breathe in slowly and deeply through your nose, and then exhale just as slowly through your mouth. Imagine you're trying to fill a balloon in your belly. A simple technique is to count. Breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a moment if you can, and then breathe out for a count of 4. This deep, controlled breathing does 2 amazing things. First, it helps maximize the oxygen flow to your struggling heart and brain. Second, it has a powerful calming effect on your entire nervous system. It signals to your brain that even though you're in a crisis, you are taking control. Focusing on the simple act of breathing can pull your mind away from the spiraling panic. Let's talk more about the mental game here. Your mind will be racing. Acknowledge the fear, but don't let it take over. Tell yourself, help is on the way. My only job right now is to stay still and breathe. You can repeat a calming phrase to yourself, either out loud or in your head. It could be something as simple as, I am calm, help is coming, or just breathe. This isn't about ignoring the reality of the situation. It's about managing your response to it. By focusing your mental energy on a single positive instruction, you prevent panic from consuming you. When you're over 60 and living alone, the thought of a medical emergency can be terrifying. One of the most critical situations is a heart attack. Knowing what to do in those first few moments can literally be the difference between life and death. Today, we're going to walk through the 7 crucial steps you must take if you suspect you're having a heart attack while you're by yourself. This information could save your life or the life of someone you love, so please, listen carefully. First things first, how do you even know if it's a heart attack? The classic sign is, of course, chest pain. It might feel like pressure, squeezing, fullness, or a sharp pain right in the center of your chest. But here's something important. A heart attack doesn't always present that way, especially for women. The pain can radiate to your arms, often the left one, but not always. Your back, neck, jaw, or even your stomach. You might also feel short of breath, break out in a cold sweat, feel nauseous, or become lightheaded. Don't dismiss these symptoms as just indigestion or stress. If something feels seriously wrong, it probably is. Your body is sending you a warning signal, and your first job is to listen to it. Don't try to be tough and wait it out. The sooner you act, the better your chances of a full recovery. So, you're experiencing these symptoms. What's the absolute first thing you should do? It's simple, but it's the most important action you will take. Call for emergency help immediately. In the US and many other countries, that's 911. In the UK, it's 999. Know your local emergency number by heart. Do not, under any circumstances, try to drive yourself to the hospital. You could lose consciousness behind the wheel, which would be catastrophic for you and others on the road. When you call, be clear and direct. Say, "I think I am having a heart attack." Give them your exact address, including any apartment numbers or specific directions. The dispatcher might ask you to stay on the line. Do it. They are trained to provide instructions and keep you calm until help arrives. Every second counts, and the emergency medical team can start life-saving treatment the moment they get to you, long before you'd arrive at the hospital on your own. Once you've made that critical call, your next action is to get yourself into a safe position. But here's a common myth we need to bust. Do not lie down flat. Lying flat can make it harder for you to breathe, especially if fluid is starting to build up in your lungs, which can happen during a heart attack. Instead, you should sit down. Find a comfortable chair, or sit on the floor with your back against a wall. The best position is to sit with your knees bent up. This is often called the semi-Fowler's position. This position helps reduce the strain on your heart and makes breathing easier. While you're getting situated, also try to loosen any tight clothing. Unbutton your shirt collar, loosen your belt, or remove anything that feels constricting around your neck or chest. Your goal is to make your body as comfortable and relaxed as possible while you wait for the paramedics. Stay calm and breathe as deeply and slowly as you can. Panicking will only raise your heart rate and put more stress on your already struggling heart. The third step is something you need to do to help the paramedics find you quickly. After you've called for help and positioned yourself safely, unlock your front door. This is a small but vital step. If you live in an apartment building, you might also be able to buzz them in at the main entrance. Unlocking the door means the emergency responders won't have to waste precious time breaking it down to get to you. Once the door is unlocked, go back to your seated position near the door if possible, so they can see you as soon as they enter. If you have a pet, try to secure them in another room. An anxious dog or cat could interfere with the paramedics' work or even accidentally get out of the house. Preparing for their arrival in these small ways ensures that once help is there, they can focus 100% on you. The fourth life-saving action is to take an aspirin if you have one readily available. But you must be careful here. This is only for a standard 325 mg non-coated aspirin. Do not take ibuprofen, naproxen, or any other painkiller. They can make things worse. And crucially, this is only if you are not allergic to aspirin and have not been told by your doctor to avoid it. If you're cleared to take it, don't just swallow it with water. You should chew it. Chewing the aspirin allows it to be absorbed into your bloodstream much faster, helping to thin your blood and break up the clot that is likely causing the heart attack. This simple act can significantly reduce heart damage and buy you invaluable time until you get to the hospital. It's a great idea for anyone over 60, especially those with known heart risk factors, to keep aspirin in easily accessible places: your nightstand, the kitchen drawer, your purse, or even your pocket. Having it within arm's reach could be a game changer. Now you may have heard about something called cough CPR, a technique that supposedly helps you survive a heart attack when you're alone by coughing vigorously. Let us be very clear about this. Major medical organizations like the American Heart Association do not endorse cough CPR. It is not a proven or recommended technique for a person having a heart attack. The theory is that coughing can increase pressure in the chest and maintain blood flow, but there's no scientific evidence to support this for a conscious person. In fact, trying to force yourself to cough repeatedly can cause more strain, use up precious oxygen, and could even be harmful. So what should you do instead of trying unproven methods? Focus on what works. Calling for help, staying calm, and maintaining slow, steady breathing. Don't waste your energy on myths. Your focus should be on conserving your strength and oxygen until the professionals arrive. The sixth crucial step involves preparation, having your vital information ready. It is a good idea to have a folder or a prominent note on your fridge with your key medical details. This should include a list of all the medications you're currently taking, including dosages. Also, list any allergies you have, especially to medications. Write down the name and phone number of your primary doctor and any specialists you see, like a cardiologist. Include contact information for your emergency contact or next of kin. Having this information organized and easily accessible is incredibly helpful for the paramedics and hospital staff. They won't have to guess or waste time trying to figure out your medical history. This allows them to make faster, more informed decisions about your treatment. You can prepare this information today. You don't have to wait for an emergency. It's a simple act of preparedness that can have a huge impact. This step is for those of you who have been prescribed nitroglycerin by your doctor. If you have it, now is the time to take it exactly as you were instructed. Place one tablet under your tongue and let it dissolve. Do not chew or swallow it. The medication gets absorbed directly into your bloodstream this way. So, what does nitroglycerin do? It's a powerful vasodilator. That's a fancy term meaning it helps to relax and widen your blood vessels, particularly the coronary arteries that supply blood to your heart muscle. When you're having a heart attack, one of these arteries is often blocked, and your heart muscle isn't getting the oxygen it needs. By opening up these vessels, nitroglycerin can improve blood flow, reduce the strain on your heart, and often ease the chest pain you're feeling. This small action can make a huge difference in protecting your heart muscle from further damage while you wait for the paramedics. Now, a very important warning. You should only ever take nitroglycerin that has been specifically prescribed for you. Never, ever take someone else's medication, not even a spouse's or a friend's. Your doctor prescribed your dose based on your specific health condition, your weight, and other medications you might be taking. Taking someone else's could lead to a dangerous drop in blood pressure or other severe complications. Also, be very cautious about what else you've taken. Nitroglycerin can interact dangerously with certain other medications, especially drugs used for erectile dysfunction, like sildenafil, tadalafil, or vardenafil. Combining these can cause a life-threatening plunge in your blood pressure. This is why it's critical to follow your doctor's instructions to the letter. If your doctor has prescribed it, they have already considered your other medications and conditions. Trust their guidance. If the pain doesn't get better or worsens after about 5 minutes of taking the first dose, it's often recommended to take a second dose, and if needed, a third dose 5 minutes after that, while you're on the phone with the emergency dispatcher. Always follow the instructions on your prescription or the advice given by the emergency services operator. They are trained to guide you through this. Remember, taking your prescribed nitroglycerin is not a substitute for medical help. It's a bridge to get you to that help safely. It's a tool in your emergency kit. If you have a heart condition but haven't been prescribed nitroglycerin, don't feel left out. The most important steps for you are still calling 911, staying calm, and unlocking your door. Never try to find or take a medication that isn't yours. For those with a prescription, make sure you know where your nitroglycerin is at all times. Keep it in a cool, dry place, in its original dark glass container, because it can lose its effectiveness if exposed to light, heat, or air. Check the expiration date regularly and get a new prescription before it expires. An old pill might not work when you need it most. You could keep some in your wallet by your bedside or in a place that's easy to access in a hurry. You don't want to be searching for it during an emergency. To recap this point, if you have prescribed nitroglycerin, take it as directed when you suspect a heart attack. It helps improve blood flow to your heart. But remember, only use your own prescription and be aware of potential drug interactions. This isn't just about having the medication, it's about knowing how and when to use it correctly. Taking this step can provide significant relief and improve your outcome, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. In our next segment, we'll discuss another simple yet effective action you can take while waiting for the ambulance to arrive, something you likely already have in your medicine cabinet. If you're over 60 and experiencing symptoms of a heart attack while alone, knowing what to do in those first few moments can make all the difference. Today, we're covering the 7 crucial steps you must take, and we're on to number 6, which is absolutely vital: securing your immediate surroundings. After calling for an ambulance, which is always your first and most important action, your next priority is to prepare for their arrival, especially if you feel you might lose consciousness. The very first thing you should do is get to your front door and unlock it. If you have a chain or a security bar, remove it. This simple act ensures that when paramedics arrive, they won't waste precious seconds trying to break down the door. They can get to you immediately and start providing life-saving care. If you have your phone with you and you feel you have a moment, Send a quick text message or a voice note to a close family member, a trusted friend, or a neighbor who lives nearby. Just something simple like, "Think I'm having a heart attack. Called ambulance. Door is unlocked." This alerts your personal network, and they can follow up to make sure help has arrived. It creates a secondary layer of safety, ensuring someone knows your situation and location. Once the door is unlocked and a message is sent, find a safe spot to wait. The best place is on the floor, ideally with your back against a wall or a sturdy piece of furniture. Lying on the floor minimizes the risk of injury if you do faint. Avoid sitting on a high chair or sofa where you could fall and hurt yourself further. If you can, grab a cushion to place under your head for a bit of comfort. Remember, taking these preparatory steps doesn't take much time, but they are incredibly impactful. Unlocking the door, sending a quick alert, and positioning yourself safely on the floor are proactive measures that can significantly speed up the process of getting the medical attention you need. It's about making it as easy as possible for help to reach you when every second counts. Let's quickly recap step 6. Once you've called for help, unlock your front door. If possible, send a quick alert to a loved one. Then, lie down on the floor in a safe position to await the paramedics. These actions clear the path for your rescuers and protect you from further injury. Stay with us as we move on to the 7th and final crucial step you need to know. I know. In a moment of panic, your first instinct might be to jump in the car and race to the emergency room. You might think, "I can get there faster," or "I don't want to be a bother." But let me be crystal clear. Driving yourself during a heart attack is one of the most dangerous things you can do. It's a mistake many seniors make, and it can have catastrophic consequences. Why is it so risky? Well, during a heart attack, your body is under immense stress. Your heart isn't pumping blood effectively. This can lead to a whole host of symptoms that can appear or worsen suddenly. You could experience intense chest pain that radiates to your arm, jaw, or back, making it impossible to focus. You could become dizzy, lightheaded, or even lose consciousness completely without any warning. Imagine that happening while you're behind the wheel, even if you're just a few blocks from the hospital. The risk of causing a serious accident, injuring yourself further, or harming others on the road is incredibly high. You could crash your car, and instead of getting help, you'd be creating a second emergency scene, delaying the care you so desperately need. Think about it this way. Your ability to react, to judge distances, and to make split-second decisions is severely compromised. Your vision might blur, your hands might get clammy and lose their grip on the steering wheel. It's a recipe for disaster. You are not in a condition to operate heavy machinery, and a car is exactly that. So please, I urge you, resist that impulse to grab your car keys. So if you can't drive, what's the alternative? The answer is simple and non-negotiable. You wait for professional medical assistance. After you've called for an ambulance, your job is to stay as calm and still as possible until they arrive. Paramedics are so much more than just a taxi service to the hospital. They are highly trained medical professionals who can begin life-saving treatment the moment they get to you. The moment they walk through your door, the emergency room essentially comes to you. They can immediately assess your condition, administer oxygen to help you breathe, and give you medications like aspirin or nitroglycerin, which can be critical in the first few minutes of a heart attack. They can monitor your heart's rhythm with an EKG right there in your living room and transmit that information to the hospital ahead of time. This is a huge advantage. It means the emergency department and the cardiology team can be fully prepared for your arrival. They'll know exactly what's happening and can have the right equipment and personnel ready to go. This heads up can save precious minutes, and when it comes to a heart attack, every single second counts. They say, time is muscle, meaning the faster you get treatment, the less damage is done to your heart muscle. Furthermore, if your condition were to worsen on the way to the hospital, for example, if you were to go into cardiac arrest, the paramedics are equipped and trained to handle it immediately. They have defibrillators and advanced life support skills to resuscitate you right there in the ambulance. If you were driving yourself, there would be no one to help you. You would be completely on your own, and the outcome would likely be tragic. So, let's recap this vital point. After calling for help, your next most important action is to stay put. Do not, under any circumstances, attempt to drive yourself to the hospital. The risks are far too great. You are not saving time. You are endangering your life and the lives of others. Your best and safest option is to wait for the paramedics. They are your lifeline. They bring the emergency room to your doorstep and ensure you get the fastest, most effective care possible, both on the scene and during transport. It's about making the smart choice, not the fast one. Your life depends on it. So you've made it through those terrifying moments. You hear the sirens, and soon paramedics are walking through your door. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, but this is where you need to focus. Your job now is to become the best communicator you can possibly be. The information you provide in these first few moments is incredibly valuable and can significantly impact the outcome. Think of yourself as the primary source of information for your own medical mystery. The paramedics are the detectives, and they need your clues. Start by telling them exactly what you felt. Don't downplay it. Use descriptive words. Was it a sharp stabbing pain? A dull ache? A crushing pressure, like an elephant sitting on your chest? Did the pain radiate to your arm, your jaw, or your back? Pinpoint where it started and where it moved. Next, tell them when the symptoms began. Was it 5 minutes ago? An hour ago? Try to be as precise as possible. For example, say, the chest pain started around 10:15 a.m. right after I finished breakfast. This timeline helps the medical team understand the progression of the event. They need to know how long your heart muscle may have been deprived of oxygen. Remember, in a heart attack, time is muscle. The longer the delay, the more potential damage to the heart. Then, you must inform them about any and all medications you've taken. This is not the time to be shy or forgetful. Did you take an aspirin when the symptoms started? Mention the dosage if you know it. What about your daily medications? List everything you can remember. Blood pressure pills, cholesterol medication, diabetes medication, even vitamins or herbal supplements. Some medications can interact with the treatments they need to give you, so complete transparency is vital. If you have a prepared list of your medications and allergies, point them towards it. This is a fantastic practice for everyone over 60. Keep a current list in your wallet or on your fridge. Also, tell them about your medical history. Have you had a heart attack before? Do you have a stent? A pacemaker? Have you been diagnosed with heart disease, high blood pressure, or diabetes? This history provides crucial context for your current situation. For instance, knowing you have a history of heart disease will immediately raise their suspicion of a heart attack and may change the course of their initial treatment. Don't be afraid to describe any other symptoms you experienced, even if they seem unrelated. Were you nauseous? Dizzy? Did you break out in a cold sweat? Were you short of breath? Every little detail helps paint a complete picture for the medical team. What might seem like a minor detail to you could be a key diagnostic clue for them. As they begin to treat you, whether it's starting an IV, giving you oxygen, or attaching EKG leads, stay as calm as you can. Continue to answer their questions honestly. They might ask you to rate your pain on a scale of 1 to 10. Be truthful. If the pain is a 9, say it's a 9. This helps them gauge the severity of the situation and the effectiveness of any pain relief they provide. Once you're in the ambulance and on the way to the hospital, the information transfer continues. The paramedics will be relaying your information to the emergency room, so the hospital team is prepared for your arrival. This is called pre-hospital notification, and it's a critical link in the chain of survival. It allows the ER to assemble the right team, like a cardiologist and catheterization lab staff, so they're ready to act the second you come through the doors. When you get to the hospital, you'll likely have to repeat your story to nurses and doctors. Be patient. Each person plays a different role in your care, and it's essential they all get the information directly from you if possible. The more consistent your story is, the faster they can confirm a diagnosis and start the definitive treatment you need. Remember, you are your own best advocate, even when you feel at your most vulnerable. Communicating clearly, calmly, and thoroughly with the medical professionals who are there to help you is the final essential step in surviving a heart attack when you're alone. It bridges the gap between your self-care and professional medical care, ensuring you get the fastest and most effective treatment possible. The second crucial step, and this is non-negotiable, is to call for emergency help immediately. In the US, that's 911. In the UK, it's 999. Know your country's emergency number by heart. Do not, Under any circumstances, attempt to drive yourself to the hospital. You could lose consciousness behind the wheel, endangering yourself and others. Don't call a friend or family member to come get you either. Paramedics can begin life-saving treatment the moment they arrive. They have oxygen, medication, and equipment like a defibrillator that you simply don't have. When you call, be clear and concise. Say, "I think I am having a heart attack." Give them your exact address and any important details, like which apartment you're in, or if a gate code is needed. Stay on the line with the operator if you can. They can provide instructions and keep you calm until help arrives. Third, after calling for help, you need to make it easy for the paramedics to get to you. Unlock your front door. If you have a chain or a deadbolt, undo it. This simple action can save precious minutes. The emergency response team will be able to enter your home without having to break down the door, which would cause a significant delay. Once the door is unlocked, lie down. The best position is on your back with your knees bent and your head and shoulders slightly elevated with a pillow. This position helps reduce the strain on your heart. Find a spot near the front door if possible, so the paramedics can see you as soon as they enter. The key here is to minimize all physical exertion. Don't walk around. Don't try to tidy up. Just unlock the door and get into a resting position. The fourth step involves a common household medication, aspirin. If you are not allergic to aspirin and don't have a condition where your doctor has told you to avoid it, chew one full-strength 325 mg aspirin. Why chew it? Chewing helps the aspirin get absorbed into your bloodstream much faster than swallowing it whole. Aspirin is a blood thinner, and it can help break up the blood clot that is likely causing the heart attack. This can help restore blood flow to your heart muscle and limit the damage. Keep a bottle of aspirin in an easily accessible place, like your kitchen counter or bedside table, just in case. But remember, this is not a substitute for medical help. It's something you do while you wait for the ambulance. Always consult your doctor beforehand about whether taking aspirin in an emergency is right for you. Fifth, try to remain as calm as possible. I know this sounds incredibly difficult when you're facing such a terrifying situation, but panic and anxiety can increase your heart rate and blood pressure, putting even more strain on your heart. One effective technique is to practice slow, deep breathing. Inhale slowly through your nose for a count of 4, hold for a moment, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 4. Focusing on your breath can help manage the body's fight or flight response. You can also try to reassure yourself mentally. Say things like, "Help is on the way. I have done the right things. I just need to stay calm." Distracting your mind can also be helpful. If a TV is nearby, turn it on to a calm program. The goal is to keep your body and mind as relaxed as possible until the professionals take over. The sixth point is about having your information ready. While you're waiting, if you feel up to it, gather any important medical information. This could be a list of the medications you're currently taking, including dosages. If you have a list of your known allergies or pre-existing medical conditions like diabetes or high blood pressure, that is incredibly useful. You could keep this information in a designated spot, like a folder on your fridge or in your wallet, so you or the paramedics can grab it quickly. Having this information readily available allows the medical team to make faster, more informed decisions about your treatment. It eliminates guesswork and ensures they don't give you anything that could cause a harmful reaction. Preparing this list in advance is a fantastic proactive step everyone over 60 should take. Finally, the seventh and perhaps most important long-term step. After surviving such an event, you must take it as a serious wake-up call. Many people, understandably, only begin to focus on their heart health after a major scare. Don't let that be you. Recovery isn't just about surviving the heart attack, it's about actively preventing the next one. This means embracing a heart-healthy lifestyle. Start by looking at your diet. Focus on nutritious whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and whole grains, while cutting back on processed foods, saturated fats, and excess sodium. Physical activity is also key. Talk to your doctor about a safe exercise plan. Even gentle activities like walking can make a huge difference. Learn to manage your stress through practices like meditation, hobbies, or spending time in nature. And of course, maintain regular checkups with your doctor and take your prescribed medications exactly as directed. Your life has been saved. Now it's your turn to protect it for the long haul. To recap, if you think you're having a heart attack alone, recognize the symptoms, call for help immediately, unlock your door, chew an aspirin. If appropriate, stay calm, have your medical info ready, and use the experience as motivation for a healthier future. Thank you so much for watching. Taking these steps seriously could be the most important decision you ever make. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content on health and wellness. Stay safe and take care of your heart.